Alcryst versus Etier. Everyone wants to talk about it. However, in this video, we don't care about Etier. We're not even gonna talk about her. All right, let's just talk about Alcryst and a build that he can run. So Alcryst Byleth, it is a thing. It's actually a pretty good support build. All right, so here's what it does. You get Byleth, which allows you to super dance and super instruct. So here's what you can do. You can dance people, give them speed +5 as a covert, or instruct to give them speed +5. So this allows your team to hit doubling benchmarks much easier, because for 4 turns, you can hit multiple teammates and give them +5 speed, which usually is more than enough to allow them to double. It also can shoot down flyers as a utility. So it's a utility that's low investment. You know, you can shoot down flyers, you can double flyers. Byleth increases speed with speed +5. He's quite fast. This Alcryst is like level, I don't know, 28 or so. He was probably like level 13 before he second sealed or master sealed. So he's like level 28, 27, somewhere around there. He can still one-shot these flyers. This is right after chapter 19. Roy's paralog unlocks immediately afterwards, and this is what we're on. So he can still reliably kill most flyers, if not all flyers, and he can also reset 4 units with his super dance while giving him speed +5. Now obviously if he wasn't here, he's in the way right now, so but he can reset. So here's the situation, right? Goddess dance gives them speed +5, very useful. And then he can instruct for 3 more turns after this to give up to 1 to 2 range speed +5. So now Diamant, Ivy, and Saline are very fast. So the Saline can now go over here, switch to Levin Sword, actually 1 round of these because she's very slow. So she can 1 round now. Diamant was already fast enough, but this is the big use case, right? Shooting down flyers, being fast, speed plus. It's really that simple. That's mainly what he's going to be using, or what he's doing. Now, if you want to increase his damage output so he can kill other things, give him a brave bow with a weight -1 engraving. So like Lucina, Sigurd, Micaiah, Celica, all of these reduce weight. And then get him Lunar Brace. Now obviously Lunar Brace is 3000 SP, so it's very expensive, but that would enable him to brave bow and 1 round other things. But really this is a support build. It's a support build that shoots down flyers, so I don't even think he should run other things. You could run Canter on him. So I would just say like speed +5 and Canter, that's probably enough. It's like low in terms of SP, relatively speaking, now that the well is in the game. So this gets him to doubling thresholds on Silverbow. He can always 1 round these flyers, or at the very least get them down to like 10% HP. And then he can also Canto after he dances and instructs and shoots. So that's probably the best use case of this. Now, is this the best use of Byleth? It's a good use. It's like an A tier build. It's good because it's low investment, it benefits your entire team, and it's a solid Byleth utility. Now, would a Thoron be better on this? Maybe. He does have more defense and health than like a Sage, so he can tank a hit better. So if he's going to be in danger, in some cases when you dance, the unit's in danger. If he dances from an avoid tile, he gets avoid tile advantage from being a covert, so he can get huge avoid. If he just needs to tank a single hit, he usually can. He has enough health, defense, and res that he could usually tank a single mage or a single physical. And with Canter, he could dance and then get out, and then if he has to tank a thing, he can. So it's a pretty solid build. It's pretty decent. I would say it's like A tier. Now, you could run any covert on this. You could run like a Zelkov on this with like a kind of similar result. Now, Zelkov with speed +5, he'll be doubling some things, not fast things. Maybe not even like medium speed enemies, but he can't one-shot flying units. You could also pull out Fail Not, which is basically a superior longbow that has some crit. And of course, he can use Sword of the Creator as needed, if it makes sense to. This, Varja Mushti, I don't think he should really be using this. Uses lowest of foes defense and res. Maybe if he can quad something, he could pull this out. But mostly you're going to be using Fail Not. Maybe you're going to be using Sword of the Creator occasionally. And mostly you're going to be using Silver Bow. Now, do you need to get it to +3? You could put him on Radiant Bow. He does get magic +3 on this, which his magic stat isn't the highest, so But Radiant Bow has really high damage, really high might, and that is actually what is multiplied when shooting flyers. So that's why Radiant Bow usually one-shots flyers. So you could put Radiant Bow on him, and he could also one-shot with that. If you just want to get a Radiant Bow like plus 2 to 3, it's a little bit cheaper than a Silver Bow plus 2 to 3. So that's an option as well. And of course, with Radiant Bow, he can shoot armors for good damage. Radiant Bow plus 3 to 5 with high speed can do pretty substantial damage to armors as they have low res. So he can shoot down flyers, put huge damage on or kill armors, and then give multiple allies, you know, speed plus 5 for a few turns. So pretty fun build, pretty decent. I would say this bumps him up to like overall like B tier in the tier list, just because he can do this fairly well. He has good accuracy, so he doesn't even need an engraving. So this is why I prefer him in this role over Etier in this case. He also does have the Luna damage, which can randomly, you know, push him into a killing threshold he wouldn't have otherwise. And Luna plus Lunar Brace and Brave Bow is pretty cracked, and in of itself with speed plus 5 is enough to one-round a lot of enemies. Brave Bow I think just has 11 weight, so it's not that heavy. So if you put like Sigurd on it, which is one of the best emblems in the game, but it gives you damage increase, it gives you weight reduction. That can he can be one-rounding pretty consistently on speed plus 5, Lunar Brace, Brave Bow, if you want him to be more damage oriented while also being a utility. But I don't like my utilities being main combat units, so he cleans up flyers as needed and dances and so on. Alright, so that's it for this one. Just a quick little Alcryst build. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or thought this was useful. It's, you know, if you like the unit, you want something useful for him to run, I'd say this is a pretty good build for him. So yeah, thanks for checking this out. Peace.